It's now time for the morning show on XL7-TV.
Good morning and welcome to the morning show on XL7-TV. I'm Bob Rechtenwald. This is Scooter.
Whoop, whoop.
Scott Callie.
How are you?
It's another Monday.
Another Monday. Already? It's Wednesday.
Monday on a Wednesday.
So how many Mondays have you had so far? 2 and then going into 3?
7 weeks worth.
7 weeks worth of Mondays. I get that. I get that.
7 weeks worth. Yeah.
The way you are right now, I get that.
Yeah. Forrest Gump said life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
That's the way it is every morning when I finally get to get up. So
there you go. Yeah, you got to be proud. You're just up.
the problem is I don't get to go down for very long.
Yeah.
That's my biggest issue right now.
Sleep.
Usually we'll go to bed between 1:12 and 1:30. If I get there, I'm good because I get up at 6. Here lately, I'll go to bed at 1 and lay there till 3.
Yeah. Sound like me.
And then hopefully doze off and then still get up at 6.
Yeah.
So that's one of the big issues.
You sound like me. I have full intent to get to bed early, and I can't. My body won't do it.
It's hard. Yeah. Yeah, my body says, no, you can't turn that way. Oh, no, you can't lay that way either. Oh, no, if you're hot, you're cold.
Okay, we'll wake you up. Hey, get up.
Why don't you just get up? Why don't you just get up and do something? Well, you can't do anything. Anyway,
I get it.
It's crazy. Crazy.
It is.
How's your week been going?
So far, so good. It's we've kind of got an off week with the girls wrestling this week, so we've been able to kind of hammer down hard this week. And the boys' regionals are this weekend, so the girls are off. So it's just been kind of hammer down, work on some conditioning, do a lot of live wrestling, and then next week we'll kind of slow the pace down, let them recoup before state.
Regroup before state.
That's the plan, Stan.
Well, it's been seems like a short season with all the snow and stuff, but then again, it seems like a long season because of all the snow and stuff.
Yeah, it seems like it's been a long season.
Yeah.
But state's around the corner.
State's around the corner. That's what they've been fighting for.
And that pretty much ends the high school side of it.
Yeah.
Then you got nationals and other stuff, but
it'll be all right.
Be a lot different.
A little different
after that. But we've had a good run. I'm excited. I'm excited for state for both teams. So
see how it goes.
They get off the bus. We'll see some good stuff.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, let's have a little morning prayer brought to you by Roller Funeral Home of Arkansas with 29 locations to serve you. One in Memphis, Tennessee. With all our respect, it's not just their motto, it's how they do business. And they'll be glad to help you in your time of need. Their phone number is 870-425-2161. And now the morning prayer. Father God, we just thank you for the things that you do for us on a daily basis. Lord, we just pray that we will continue to keep our eyes on you and be focused on what we're supposed to do to glorify you. Lord, we just thank you for all of our military, our first responders, our doctors, our lawyers, our education, administration, the students and all. Lord, as we travel around to do things academically, we just pray that you'll be with us and send travel mercies. Lord, we just thank you for what you are to us and what you mean to us in our lives. In Christ's name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Roller Funeral Home of Arkansas, with all our respect. And now we're going to have a quick word from Bob and Linda Zadora.
Well, folks, have you been trout fishing before?
Not since I was a little kid.
You'll do fine.
Hey, what are you doing?
Aren't you coming along?
See you downriver.
How do you start this motor? I've never been in a boat before.
See you downriver.
Well, folks, have you sold a house before?
Yeah, about 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you'll be okay then.
You sure?
Where are you going?
See you at the closing.
Hey!
At the closing.
We should have called the Z-Team.
You ever sell a house before?
You'll be okay.
You'll be all right.
You'll be okay. That's the answer to everything. You'll be okay.
You ever float this river before?
No, never ran a boat.
You'll be all right. Sign right here.
Yeah. No, just push you out. Let them go.
Yeah.
Let them rip.
Let it rip.
let it rip.
It won't happen to you if you call Bob and Linda Zador of the Z Team, Century 21 Lee Mack Realty here in Mountain Home. 870-405-0793 is their phone number. Retiredtoarkansas.net is their website. Go there, click on live views, and this is what you see. Beautiful shot of the White River from Marion County, Arkansas, back into Baxter County, Arkansas. That's the city of Cotter. The baseball museum is down lower left. The Contractors Trust and the baseball field is to your lower left. Railroad Museum is to your lower right. Contractors Trust is to the far right. Way off in the distance, you're looking at the state of Missouri. Way to the right is the city of Mountain Home. To the left would be Bull Shoals. Retiredtoarkansas.net. You can also click on MLS listings. There's a little closer up shot of the city of Cotter. Click on MLS listings. You can see what's available in our MLS area. We've got a little smoke happening there, Scooter.
Yeah, yesterday on the other side of the bridge, there was somebody doing some burning or something. There was
Monday
a
we
lot
had that.
of
Monday.
smoke. Yeah, maybe that was Monday.
Yeah. Zooming in on the old city hall there at Cotter. Bob and Linda Zador, 870-405-0793. These are realtors you can recommend to your friends. I always say they're busy, but never too busy to help you. If you're looking for something, a farm, a business property, residential, or just a piece of property, just a lot somewhere, give them a call. They'll be glad to help you. They're licensed in both the state of Arkansas and Missouri, so they can help you with whatever direction you want to go. There's a beautiful shot of the Rainbow Bridge and the old Trellis Railroad Bridge.
Our fisherman's back.
Uh-oh,
That
there he
little
is.
black pickup right there.
There he is, yep.
He must have got there early because usually at the same time every morning he's just getting out of his vehicle. So
Well, he may still be there. May still be in
he
it.
may.
Anyway, give them a call. Bob and Linda Zador, the Z Team, 870-405-0793. Let's take a look at some weather.
Well, the temperatures are kind of off. Are they still off?
Yeah, they're still a little bit off, so we're going to
go
click on them
widescreen.
individually. We're going to do this. Mountain Home is currently 47 and clear. We'll go down Harrison, looks like it is clear and 41. Yellville, Arkansas, 42 and clear. We're going to go out of that range a little bit. We'll go over to Calico Rock. Looks like it's 47 and clear. Mountain View's 36.
Ooh,
Chilly down Mountain View.
they can have it.
See, Calico Rock looks like it's 47.
It's going to be a beautiful day, though.
We'll jump over to Springfield. Springfield is 38. The nice part about it is they're all clear. And let's go up to St. Louis in case we got anybody going that direction. And sun's shiny and 49.
There you go.
Take a look at the radar. If I can get it out there. There we go. Radar looks like this. Let it catch up to us here for a minute. Slow.
It takes forever to load the motion. When you put it in motion, it takes forever.
Got a little bit of this winter stuff right over here around Denver. It's going to come across Kansas, but it's all going to go north of us, I believe. We've got some heavy snow stuff in Ontario. But as far as Arkansas goes, we'll zoom back into the great state of Arkansas. And it looks like from Rogers to Blytheville, from Fayetteville to Jonesboro, Fort Smith, Conway, Little Rock, Benton, Hot Springs, Pine Bluff, Texarkana, all the way to Greenville, Mississippi. It's a clear day in the state of Arkansas. Look at this band right here, Scooter. That right there is a wintry advisory.
That right there is quite a few miles from us, so I'm okay with that.
All right, and this right here is a winter storm warning. Yeah. And this up here, this one right here, you know what that one is?
I have no clue.
That's a blizzard.
Really?
Yeah, that's a blizzard warning.
Well, I'm not going that direction.
Minnesota and the Dakotas, they have a blizzard warning. But right here in the great state of Arkansas, we're clear as a bell. So
Beautiful day in the neighborhood.
beautiful day in the hood. Let's take a look at the next 7 days. Today, sunny, high near 70. Showers likely tonight, low of 46. High tomorrow, partly sunny and breezy, high of 52. Wednesday night, low of 25. Friday, high of 44. Friday night, low of 25. Saturday, 51. Mostly clear Saturday night, low of 33. Sunny, then sunny, breezy. On Sunday, high of 60. Let's take a look at the first part of next week. President's Day, which is Monday. Oh, by the way, partly sunny, high near 65, and then with a low of 41. So, got a pretty nice week looking ahead of us, except for the fact that it might rain a little bit tonight. Lake levels and dam reports. Lake Norfolk 556.32. They're currently generating 2. And Bull Shoals 661.04. They're currently generating 4. That's the lake levels, dam reports, and a little bit of weather for you. Brought to you by Bob and Linda Zadora of the Z-Team. Century 21 Lee Mack Realty, 870-405-0793. RetireToArkansas.net. We'll be back in just a moment. You're watching The Morning Show on XL7-TV.
It's a matter of taste, and at Brick Oven Pizza Company in Mountain Home, delicious taste is all you will find. Enjoy signature crafted pizzas and appetizers, as well as oven-baked sandwiches, quesadillas, salads, pastas, and desserts. When it comes time to relax or meet up with friends, Brick Oven Pizza has you covered. Handmade cocktails and ice-cold beer are always available at their fully stocked bar. No time to dine in? No problem. Call in your order and use Brick Oven's convenient drive-thru window for all your to-go orders. It's a matter of taste at Brick Oven Pizza Company in Mountain Home.
Have you ever known?
Welcome back to The Morning Show on XL7-TV. It's time for community news and happenings.
Community news and happenings. All right. What do you got?
Well, we're going to read these first so I don't forget them.
Okay.
Help us travel to French-speaking Quebec, Canada. Mountain Home French Club will have a chili supper to raise funds for the summer trip of 2024 to Quebec. It will be March the 7th at the high school cafeteria. $5 for a bowl of chili in a to-go container. Condiments and dessert will be provided. You can contact Christy Lawrence at clawrence@mhbomber.com. And you can purchase your tickets from any French Club member. Make your checks payable to MHHS French Club. Merci beaucoup.
Okay.
There you go. Mountain Home High School and Career Academy's Empty Bowls to Feed the Hungry Soup Dinner. That is Thursday, next Thursday, February 23rd from 4 to 6 at the Mountain Home cafeteria. All proceeds go to the Food Bank of North Central Arkansas. It's $10 per ticket. Purchase includes a choice of soup. The first 150 attendees will be able to choose a handmade ceramic bowl to keep. This is a non-refundable event if canceled due to inclement weather. Purchase can be made through an individual student, or you can contact Beth Ivans at bivans@mhbomber.com. or Christy Lawrence at clawrence@mhbombers.com. So 2 worthy causes. The Food Bank of North Central Arkansas does wonderful things, and they take care of a lot of people.
They do.
So it'd be good for you to go out and check that out. In the French Club with their trip to Quebec.
My daughter did that.
Did she?
She had a good time.
Yeah, I bet that's a lot of fun for them. So they will hear a language that sounds like no other, because French in Quebec is not as French as France.
Yes.
Let's just put it that way.
Little slight difference.
If you ever wanted to know where Cajun French come from, go to Quebec.
There you
Cajun
go.
French is something totally different. Let's go here and see what kind of news we have for the next minute or so. One thing I wanted to mention is counties are awarded over $645,000 for wildlife education and school conservation programs. Baxter County will receive a total of $11,660, and of that, nearly $2,000 will go to Hackler Intermediate School to fund butterfly kits, purchase owl pellets, and purchase various books about Arkansas wildlife. The Mountain Home Junior High will get $3,500 roughly. Pinkston Middle School will get roughly $3,000. They're doing an archery in school program, which is pretty cool. They have a lot of the schools around us have archery teams that go out shooting and such, so it'd be fun. But that's a good thing. And Baxter County's not the only one that's getting this money. Boone's getting a good sum, $5,500 or so. Fulton County's getting $11,000. Izard County's getting $2,700. Marion County's getting $1,700. So it's all around. It's a good thing. $645,000, and I'm sure that money is generated from the licensing fees. A lot of it is. So that's pretty good. Let's see what else we got here this morning. Ozark Mountain School District is still talking about combining the high schools, and they did get that approved by the state, so that's going to make some changes for those students over in that area. And that's just kind of the way that is. I'd like to mention real quick before we go off and go on to the next thing is Mountain Home Bombers, Lady Bombers lost their game against Russellville last night. The Bombers pulled off a must-win. They had to win that game to stay with some chances to go to the state tournament. They did pull that off against Russellville last night.
Good job.
So there's the community news and happenings right now, and we'll be back in just a little bit. You're watching the morning show on XL7-TV. See you in just a minute.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detailed services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
At Connor Family Funeral Home, our goal is to provide our friends and neighbors with caring, compassionate services at an affordable price. Connor Family is a full-service funeral home that offers a wide range of services to meet your family's needs and customs. We are the first on-site crematory in the area and provide many options to memorialize your loved ones and address all the details for a more personalized service. Where compassion and affordability meet, Connor Family Funeral Home in Mountain Home.
When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, it's our desire that you think about finding a way to live your life to the fullest while living with a serious illness. If you ever need help and support, we provide a team of healthcare professionals and volunteers that will support your physical, emotional, and spiritual aspects of life while doing the same for your family and caregivers in the comfort of your own home or wherever you call home. When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, we hope that you grant us permission to walk on the journey with you. Your not-for-profit option since 1979.
When you're out of town, make sure your pet is with someone who will love them as much as you do. At 201 Pet Salon and Resort, your pet is cared for just as they would be at home. 201 Pet Salon and Resort is the only all-suite climate-controlled and air-filtered boarding facility in the area with private and spacious rooms to keep your pet relaxed. And with over 3/4 of an acre of fenced play area, your pet will receive the proper exercise they deserve. 201 also offers professional grooming services. Your best friend is in good hands at 201 Pet Salon and Resort in Mountain Home.
Are you looking for the best barbecue in 2 states?
Holy smokes!
Want the meatiest fall-off-the-bone ribs?
Holy smokes!
The most tender and delicious pulled pork?
Holy smokes!
The tastiest brisket in the Ozarks?
Holy smokes!
Holy Smokes Barbecue and Catering is the only place you need to go. Dine in, carry out, and the best food for your next catered event.
Holy smokes!
We're your mountain home for great barbecue cooking.
Holy smokes!
A higher calling for your taste buds.
What? Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV. Miss Hollie Scoma is here this morning, District 3 Veteran Service Officer, and Dr. George Wolford, Arkansas Department of Disabled American Veterans. Welcome.
Hello.
Good morning. I don't believe I've met you before, sir. This is your first trip here, or have you been here before?
This is my second trip here, but the last one was years ago, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, where are you from?
That's always a hard question for anybody with a military background.
Where do you sleep mostly?
I sleep mostly since 1979 in Mountain Home, Arkansas.
Oh, you live here in town?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, welcome, I guess.
Yeah.
You've been here a long time. There shouldn't be any welcomes needed, but
I've traveled a lot in the interim. I taught in China for a while. I've been over to Germany for the same reason, so on and so forth. So when I come back to the United States, this is where I roost.
This is where you come. What brought you to Mountain Home originally?
My mother retired here in the late 60s, and I came to visit her, and I went, wow, it's just like Michigan, only not so cold.
And a lot of places not as crowded.
Yeah.
Not as crowded. I like that. I think Mountain Home was about 4,200 at that time.
4,200. We moved here in 1972, and the population of Mountain Home was 6,200. And everything, all the billboards, they didn't say how many miles it was to get to a place. It was how many minutes it took you to get there. It was different.
Yeah.
It was way different. Yeah.
Yeah, and you could say something on one side of town, and your phone would be ringing when you got home from the other side of town.
Back in the early 70s, you could dial your number from one side of town, and by the time you got to home, it would start ringing. Well, we had a 4-party party line.
I don't know that.
I don't remember the party lines. I guess when I came to visit my mother, I didn't use the phone much. So. But yeah, there are a lot of changes in Mountain Home. Not all of them for the better, but some are. I think the growth came from AARP having Mountain Home listed in the top 5 retirement areas for years in a row, and a lot of people read that.
So you caught the tail end of Mountain Home being a big tourist area.
Yeah.
Because it was big tourist in the mid-70s to about 80. It started dying off, and then now it's different. But it's coming back. We're getting to be more and more of a vacation destination, and not so much just strictly retirement. So.
I remember when all those little fishermen's cabins were the hot thing, and Blackburn's was teeming, with people running in and out.
Yeah, because they couldn't get enough. They didn't have enough space of their own, so they would team up with another resort, and they'd invite folks in. Yeah. But back in those days, all those resorts would go to big conventions and put on tourist shows and show. Of course, you couldn't show videos because there wasn't hardly good quality videos back then, but there were just slideshows and still camera shots. And so
fishing's still the same. It's still wonderful.
It is still good. Yeah, still good. Well, welcome. I know you didn't come here to talk about tourism and the growth of Mountain Home.
Well, it's part of life here. Yeah,
it is a great part of our life here. Sure is.
And it's why our veterans come here, and it's why Arkansas had decided a while back to relieve retired veterans of tax on their income, which has been well received by the veteran community nationally, and has followed some great states in that particular mode. So we're even more attractive to military people now than we were in the past.
I didn't realize that Arkansas military retirees and disabled vets got their tax-free retirement.
Yeah.
Is Arkansas one of the few that do that, or is there a lot of the states that do that?
Do you have the exact numbers
a lot of the states do that. We also have here for the property taxes, so 100%. If you're 100% disabled, then you get to have your tax abated and not
your property tax is waived at that point. Wow.
And personal property tax.
And personal property tax as well.
So it's that's like you said, that brings a lot of people here too. Which, speaking of that, they're called summary of benefits letter or tax abatement letters. The VA is finally sending out all of them. They're working really hard. The government printing office has been running slow, so they were supposed to all be sent out by the 15th of February, but of course we're still getting some stragglers. So if you don't get them within the next 30 days, please come and see your VSO so we can make sure that we get you a copy. So that's for 100% permanently and totally disabled or spouses of those who have passed away. So.
Very good.
Yeah.
Great saying, Hollie.
I try. And so, speaking of reminiscing, for last time we were here, Charlie was here with us, and so we kind of went over how he's like a key part here. He's instrumental to the success of the Veteran Service Program.
That has been one of the shows that I've wanted to do for 2 years. And I miss it. And you're going to have to bring him back.
And he's so wonderful, honestly. So he helps a ton of veterans. I think last week we were talking about how many he sees, and I think he saw over 50 veterans in 1 week. That doesn't include phone calls or emails. That was only
face-to-face
people coming in. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
his workload's tripled since he started that job.
He does quite a lot.
Yeah, he's personable and knowledgeable, and that is a
Yes.
fantastic combination.
And so for District 3, he is one of our most seasoned veteran service officers. So we lost a lot of them and have new turnover, which we just did our quarterly training. Me and George were talking about it. So we just did our quarterly training. We have the 4 new people in Boone, or not Boone, in Marion, Fulton, Cleburne, and Stone County. So with all of those 4 new people, we had training. We went over some terminology because, you know, there's a lot of acronyms, trying to make sure that we're getting them up to speed so that when they start seeing veterans for all of these counties, they can have some knowledge and, like I said, reach back to us and sometimes call Charlie if I'm not available.
Yeah, I refer to this day each month as alphabet soup.
Yeah, it really is. Well, you have to understand the military as a whole love acronyms, and then when you get a bunch of veterans who are all from different military branches who have different acronyms, then we just throw a bunch in there, just make it
I think
up.
the federal government in general likes to compact things up, you know, and it gives them a kind of a feeling that we know stuff you don't know.
Yeah, well, which
if you
actually,
can just keep track of all the acronyms is exciting.
So, like, speaking of, on my notes, I have a couple acronyms here.
Well, we'll go over them in just a minute. Dr. Wolford, what branch of service were you in?
I did 3 years in the Army, and then I lived my life, got an education, and when I went back in, I put in 7 months in the Navy.
Cool.
Little special assignment.
And the doctor is for?
Clinical psychology.
Okay.
Actually, I don't want this to sound wrong, but I've got 2 PhDs, one in clinical psychology and one in community psychology. And people go, wow, that's a lot of education. And you don't understand. I was hiding out in school. I didn't want to go to work.
But that's interesting. So you have like a small scope and a larger scope.
Yeah.
So it's not common. That's super awesome.
That is good.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the new acronyms we've got here.
Oh, they're not new acronyms.
Oh, they're not new.
They're just new
it's
to
just
you.
Education
They're
for me.
just new
Okay.
for you. Yeah. So
just don't give me a test later because I promise it won't be good.
So one of the things we talked about on the radio this past month is how well and how many changes the VA made within the last year. And there's a ton of them, PACAC and everything else. One of the things that they've really tried to change, though, recently has been the homelessness. They've made that a forefront for veteran homelessness and trying to alleviate that problem. So over 40,000 homeless were placed by VA nationwide this past year. So, and that's down 60% from what was previous. So then...
that's down because there's less homeless, or that's down because they...
We're not sure. So once we get those numbers...
You knew I was going to ask that question.
Once we get those numbers, then we can speak on it. But for Central Arkansas, so it's CAVIS, it's Central Arkansas Veteran Health Services, they placed 225. So it's really important to know how many here. That's a very small number in how many veterans we deal with who are suffering from homelessness or going to be homeless. But the fact that they had 225 placed is the highest that they've had in recent years. Yeah. So
what area does that cover?
That's the whole state.
That's the whole state.
That's the whole state.
Yeah.
So
I'm on the board of Hope for All here in Mountain Home,
Okay.
which is a homeless group.
Yeah.
And we estimate there are over 200 in Mountain Home.
Yeah.
So 200 statewide,
Yeah.
that's not really, I'm glad they did that. Don't
Yeah.
misunderstand me, and that's progress.
But it ain't a whole lot to brag about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so this brings to another point. So during our wintry time that we had, those ice storms and snow, I had over 15 veterans call me during that time telling me they needed to be placed immediately. So in the midst of the snowstorm and in the midst of the ice storm. So if you can, I know sometimes things happen and it's without like notice. But if you can, there is a homeless hotline that you can call, and they'll put you in touch with a social worker. It's confidential, and then they'll help you get placed and see if there's any other resources that we might be missing, such as employment or education or anything, other benefits that they can try to get you to alleviate that situation. So that number is 877-424-3838, and that's for the homeless hotline for VA. So
let's talk about the bad weather with the ice and the snow that we had. Is there any additional help for the veterans during that time to maybe offset the higher bills that they're going to have and that kind of thing?
I secured some funding for Hope for All. They specifically have a pool of money to put veterans in a motel room, and they have an agreement with one of the motels here in town. One is below freezing. It's only for those nights that it's below freezing, and otherwise they provide them with a cook stove, propane, sleeping bag, and a tent, and take them to a campground.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's something there.
There is something.
Not too elaborate, but there is something there.
The state programs and the VA programs all take time, and so that's the only issue that we're really running up against. They have to meet eligibility requirements, they have to fill out forms, there's a process for it, where if they need immediate help, it's always going to be our communities that we're turning to. So DAV, American Legion, Good Sam, those kind of things.
Okay. It's time for a quick break. You're watching The Morning Show on XL7-TV. We'll be back in just a moment.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment, their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
Dept Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Dept grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Overhead Door, a garage door company that has been with your family from the beginning, through all the ups and downs of life. From the small repairs to making your vision a reality. Overhead Door, your trusted garage door expert since 1921. Be sure you're getting the genuine, the original overhead door service.
Call Overhead Door Company of North Arkansas today in Mountain Home. Scrap Daddy's Metals is a full-service scrap recycling center accepting your scrap metals for recycling, paying you top dollar for all of your recyclable metals. They even buy cars and catalytic converters. Give them a call today at 870-424-6120 or visit them at 2821 Highway 5 North in Mountain Home.
Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV. Hollie Scoma, District 3 Veteran Service Officer. Dr. George Wolford, Arkansas Department of Disabled American Veterans, is with us this morning, and we're talking all things veteran.
Yeah.
Exciting.
It is very exciting.
A new year. We've got a new year here. We've got a new governor. What changes has that brought to you?
So we actually have a new director as well.
Okay.
So we have Major General.
You have a new director.
Yeah, listen, I have to think because I'm so used to saying the rank of the other one. So Major General Penn, he was previously over the National Guard here for the state as well. And so after he retired, he was placed in this position. So he is now our new director. And so we're waiting for new things to kind of come down from him, but already seeing some change. He's in Little Rock.
He's in Little Rock.
Yeah.
He's a smart guy. We're hoping for big things from him.
Absolutely. So.
Now, when you say she has a new director, what does that mean for you, sir?
I am not directed by General Penn.
Okay. All right.
I work with U.S. Veteran Outreach and Disabled American Veterans. I'm on the board of directors for DAV out of Little Rock for the state, and Hope for All locally, and a couple of other organizations.
So are you a state employee, a federal employee, or are you a retired volunteer?
I'm a volunteer, thank you very much.
Okay.
I was looking at my income compared to a colleague's income in Little Rock that works for the VA and does what I do. And I'd be about $1.5 million to the good if I was getting paid like she's getting paid. Yeah, that's what I said.
But you're not directed by anybody.
Not directed by anybody.
So therefore,
but we appreciate him so much,
yeah,
too.
thanks a lot.
So therefore, there's a lot to be said for that, being able to say, no, I don't want to do that today.
There is, and when I'm in like a Zoom meeting or a live meeting with anywhere from 15 to 50 federal government employees, I can speak my mind.
Yeah.
I can tell them exactly what for. And actually, it might sound a little caustic, acerbic, to say that I do that, but it's been very helpful overall for them and for me.
You're able to look at things without rose-colored glasses and then report what you actually see and not what they want to hear.
Exactly that. And there's groupthink too, they sit around and talk to each other mostly and congratulate each other mostly. Oh, you did a great job. Well, maybe they didn't do such a hot job, and somebody needs to say that too. But when they've got groupthink going on, that's all they hear. They're in their little bubble, of congratulating each other. So I stick pins in that bubble from time to time, and it's a good thing.
It is a good thing. Because if you allow that bubble to grow and fly, there's no telling what you're going to get at the end.
Yeah, a burst bubble.
A burst bubble.
But Dr. Wolford has also been so instrumental for the veteran suicide reduction here as well in Mountain Home. So he's on, like we said, the U.S. Veterans Outreach Program. Listen, it's such a... and so we also work together.
So what's the acronym for that?
So it's called Together with Veterans, and it's TWV. It's a program who's over as well for rural veterans, and so it's a VA program. But I mean, we've worked together on that, and it's been huge. And like I said, he's been so instrumental for that. He even spoke at our ADVA training about veteran suicide and helping reduce the population of that. So.
She's buttered me right up.
And that's a number that needs to get to zero if at all possible.
We've done some awesome work. I can't pat myself on the back because I didn't do it alone. It's a team effort. Everybody works together on it. Dan Hall works on it. Mike Nybert works on it. David Butts works on it. I work on it. Hollie works on it. Everybody's pulling together on this, which is one of the things that makes it work. We started out 8 years ago. There were 36 suicides a year in Baxter County, and nobody knew how many were veterans because that wasn't tracked. We spoke with the coroner, Brad, and he started tracking veterans. Make a long story short, last year there were 10 suicides in Baxter County and only one veteran.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Veterans.
It's still 10%.
Veterans typically commit suicide at the rate of 150% of the civilian population. So that's way down for veterans.
So Miss Hollie, what else have you got going on in your world? I know you're just sitting home, right?
Right.
Waiting for the phone to ring.
Listen, I wish.
Watching the pretty boy get ready for school.
I'm doing a lot of driving right now. So for our 4 new VSO officers, I see you over there laughing, Bob. But for our 4 new VSO officers, I'm doing a lot of in-house training for them and helping them. Every veteran case is different because every veteran service was different. So their exposures, their wartime, all of it's very different. So there's a lot of questions that always come in the very beginning. It's always a lot of like interesting cases and, oh, we haven't seen this in 10 years. Let's talk about it. So I've been doing a lot of that. And then for our sister service for women veterans, we have our February lunch is going to be on the 24th, which is a Friday. It's going to be at noon at Kuyon's this month.
Okay.
And so also for women veterans, it also is all veterans, but it's geared more towards women veterans. It's a GAV legislature. It's called Build for Veterans Act. It's one that just came out in 2023. They're trying to get women veterans and other veterans the dental service and long-term care services that the VA is kind of missing. So it's only our 100% veterans who get dental care, or like TRICARE retirees, and a very small percentage of people who had like damage to the nerves or gums while on active duty. So everyone else is not covered.
Does the CBOC here offer dental services, or do they contract through a local dentist?
So they would do community care because we're within that radius, so they would send them to a referral outside.
You know, dental care is not cheap these days. If you go to get just an upper or lower plate, you know, with the clip-ons, which requires a post, it's $10,000-$12,000.
Yeah.
And a veteran that's 80% disabled doesn't get any help from the VA. You have to be 100% disabled.
Wow.
And so we did a program last year at towards the end of the year on our 4th quarter, and it was called Operation Homefront. And so it was dental services. VA opened up for 1 day, and they were able to see, I think they said 900 veterans who required immediate care for dental. That was extractions, that was caps and things like that. But that was only 1 day they opened it up. And we have not had we haven't had our pie chart or what came of it yet. But we're trying to do more things like that and get the VA to understand that there's a desperate need there.
Mm-hmm. Truly
so
needed.
This bill is super instrumental to that. So
DAV on national level really hammers for things like this for veterans. And I think everyone knows that if you have an infection in your gums, that damages your heart.
Your whole body,
So getting this stuff taken care of is not just optional.
Yeah.
It's critical. And the VA has declined to acknowledge that from day one. So the progress that Hollie's talking about is really good progress indeed. It's not a lot.
Yeah.
It's like 200 homeless for the whole state. You know, it's not a lot, but it's progress. It's a move in the right direction.
Yeah.
Sounds like they're a little too top heavy.
Yeah, well, if they get rid of some of the middle management, you know, they could probably afford to do more.
Yeah, that's the way most of them work.
$132 billion a year is what they spend.
True.
So it's a lot of training right now. So like I said, we're kind of everywhere. So
with all this new training and all the new people, when you get a new veteran service officer in a county outside of here, when there's somebody new come in, what's the transition time? Does that slow down what happens for the veteran himself, him or herself, or is it kind of seamless migration, or does it push everything back a while?
It's definitely not seamless. It does push things back, but like I said, we have things that are in place to kind of help. So there's things called intent to files, so that if they file paperwork today, they can file a year later when they're ready to file their claim, and they can go back to that one date. So there's multiple things that we could do to kind of alleviate it, but it's a transition period. It's over 47 programs. They have to get their computers up and running. They have to get background checks, fingerprints. They have to do a lot of other things. And then they get to sit in an office and be bombarded and lots of different questions. And like I said, it's kind of everywhere for a little bit. But once it settles down, a normal time frame for a VSO to learn everything and to have a good grasp on it is about a year. So it's a long process.
That's one of Hollie's many jobs, is to make sure these people are up and running and have what they need. And she does a fantastic job of it. We have never had a complaint about her. She's an awesome individual.
You need to stick around a little bit. No, just...
I try really hard. But like I said, it's a lot of transition. So, and each person learns very differently. So sometimes it's more hands-on, where I just sit back and we have to like let them kind of type it out and ask questions while they're doing it. And sometimes it's they need all the instructions written out. And yeah, so however I can help them, that's what I'm here for.
So if you have an office that you're bringing in a new person, is there no togetherness where the person that's leaving helps train the person that's coming?
So typically, we would love that to happen, but honestly, that's not normally a reality. So very little times they get turnover. A lot of our positions are retirees who are doing it for to help out the community and be a part of the community as well. So when they get ill or when they're leaving, sometimes there's no transition and it's just somebody walking into there. And then sometimes it's like with Cleburne County, she had a transition period of a month. So she is very well versed in doing really good things, but still has other things that she still has to learn now.
Time for a break. You're watching The Morning Show on XL7-TV. We'll be back in just a moment.
At Letty's Mexican Restaurant, we're here to keep you safe during these difficult times, as well as serve you the best Mexican food in the area. That's why we've installed a convenient pickup window for all your to-go and pickup orders, as well as a covered outdoor seating area. Give us a call at 870-435-2532 to order your next meal. And don't forget, Letty's also provides catering for small parties or big events. Experience the best in Mexican cuisine. Letty's in Gaspsville. Close to Lake Norfolk and a short journey to Jordan County Line Liquor is your destination for all your refreshment needs. They offer the widest variety of all your wines, beers, and liquors with the cleanest atmosphere and the largest selection in the area. Not sure what to get? Ask Jordan County Line Liquor's friendly and knowledgeable staff for an expert recommendation you can't go wrong with. Also, don't forget about the Smoker's Den for all your smoking and accessory needs. That's Jordan County Line Liquor, close to Lake Norfolk, located on Highway 177 in Jordan, Arkansas.
Well, folks, have you ever been trout fishing before?
Not since I was a little kid.
You'll do fine.
Hey, what are you doing?
Aren't you coming along?
See you downriver.
How do you start this motor? I've never been in a boat before.
See you downriver.
Well, folks, have you sold a house before?
Yeah, about 30 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, well, you'll be okay then.
You sure?
Where are you going?
See you at the closing.
Hey!
At the closing.
We should have called the Z-Team.
It's a matter of taste, and at Brick Oven Pizza Company in Mountain Home, delicious taste is all you will find. Enjoy signature crafted pizzas and appetizers, as well as oven-baked sandwiches, quesadillas, salads, pastas, and desserts. When it comes time to relax or meet up with friends, Brick Oven Pizza has you covered. Handmade cocktails and ice-cold beer are always available at their fully stocked bar. No time to dine in? No problem. Call in your order and use Brick Oven's convenient drive-thru window for all your to-go orders. It's a matter of taste at Brick Oven Pizza Company in Mountain Home.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detailed services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Welcome back to The Morning Show on XL7-TV. Hollie Scoma, District 3 Veteran Service Officer, Dr. George Wolford, Arkansas Department of Disabled American Veterans.
Yeah.
I don't know the acronym,
normally,
so I could just go.
It's normally DAV.
But nobody knows what DAV is, so better to say it all the way
I
out.
agree.
But
But
say the word.
But you were like, that's a lot. Yeah, it's normally just DAV. So at our meetings, we're
But
not.
I'm out of training.
Yeah.
See, I don't have my my oxygen level's not up. So been out of the,
Bob,
been out of the
there's a
loop.
test on the acronyms here at the end of the show.
There will be. It's
Yeah.
10 questions. It's pass or fail.
N-O. 10 questions, pass or fail.
Yeah.
What else have we got going on? I know Dan's not here today. I hope he's doing well. Is he under the weather? Or?
A little bit under the weather. It's going to take more than that to get Dan down. He's a pretty tough character.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. And again, another volunteer situation.
Yep. Just same as I am, and he'd be if he was paid. You know, if he looks at paychecks, he'd be $1.5 million behind too.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of additional meetings coming up. We have like our Unified Community Resource meeting coming up. We have Together with Veterans for our U.S. Veteran Outreach program coming up. So just a lot of gearing up and training to set the tone for the rest of the year, kind of.
We have a quarterly meeting of Together with Veterans. Together with Veterans is a federal program funded out of the VA, and it looks like a program to reduce suicide, and it is that, but that's secondary. It's a research program to find out what works.
Yeah.
And there are 30-some sites around the United States that are doing what we're doing here. We're doing it really well.
Yeah.
Compared to the national. And I'd like to say anybody that's a community leader, a pastor, a business leader, that kind of thing, if they're interested in suicide prevention, get a hold of me and just see us, come to our quarterly meeting, be a part of it, find out what you can do. I had one business leader that I asked if he had a employee assistance program or anything to do with suicide prevention, since his right-hand man committed suicide, okay? And I said, do you have anything like that? And I listed some things that are common in the business world. And he said, yeah, we got a help program. It's called Payday. And that was his response to the whole thing. I'm paying these people. They should not have heart attacks. They should not commit suicide. They should show up and go to work. And I appreciate that as a businessman. You know, he needs people to show up. But if you're at a loss as to what to do, come see us.
Yeah.
We've got all kinds of things that can help. And we're glad to help. And it won't cost anything, because we're all volunteers.
And like I said, our community program is so strong with a community who wants to help and is very engaging. So like when we had those veterans who were homeless, like it was only a phone call away for me to reach back and get them to where they needed to go. And so even for like Batesville, we had a couple people from there, and so we're hours away, and in a snowstorm I can't just drop everything and drive there. But I was able to call our DAV, VFW, and American Legion down there, those commanders, and be like, help, and they were like, absolutely, we have you. So like even Mountain Home, we have such a great infrastructure here, but we're trying to make sure that we spread that through all the rural communities. So
Yep. Exactly.
A lot of talk about the suicide side. Is there anything that depression awareness? Is there anything in?
Well, I'd like to say one thing for the men. As we get older, doesn't apply to anybody here, right? As we get older, our testosterone levels drop. And if testosterone levels get too low, you get suicidal thoughts. What's the use? Throw in the towel, okay? And a lot of men don't realize that. And if I have actually heard with my own little ears a nurse come to a veteran in a VA clinic and say, your testosterone levels are low. Would you like some testosterone supplements? And the veteran went, no, I don't need any of that stuff. Wow. Ego, you know? Ego just got in the way of his health and his mental health. So, hey, that's a thing. You know, if you're having those bum thoughts, it's entirely possible that there's a biological reason for it. It's not you. It's not you being bad. It's not, you know, witchcraft or anything else. It's just a biological reason for feeling that way. See a doctor.
Yeah.
Don't wait till you start thinking about outing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
When you start getting down and depressed, do something at that point.
I'd like to say another thing along those lines. If you know, there are certain things that cause crisis that end up in suicide, and that are serious financial difficulties and relationship difficulties. So if you know somebody, veteran or not, that you know that their spouse died, or they've gotten a divorce, or they're separated, or that they're having financial problems and you haven't heard from them in 30 days, please pick up the phone and call them.
Yeah.
That can stop a suicide as much as anything else you can do.
Make a world of difference.
Is 30 days a magic number?
It is a magic number. You know, when there's a death, you get a lot of attention for about 30 days. You know, the casseroles go for about 2 weeks, and then people will take you out to lunch or call or stop by, but after about 30 days, people forget all about that. They go on with their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's understandable, but reaching back out 6 months and a year later, maybe even a year and a half, grieving's different for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are over it in 6 months, some people are not over it in 2 years. So it's different for everybody, but stay in touch with those people. Let them know somebody cares. Often that's all it takes.
If you were friends with the spouse, that doesn't mean you can't be friends with the remaining spouse.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
there's no reason we can't pick up the phone and just say, hey, just want to check on you, see how you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
There's no strings attached. I'm just checking on you.
Yeah, invite them to coffee, or, you know, mind if I stop by? I've got some extra whatever, you know.
And we actually have a male group here. So we have the VA Vet Center has somebody come up from Little Rock once a month. And so he will be here March 1st as well. So normally they meet for a PTSD group, and they just do day trips. And it's not like they're hard and heavy talking about PTSD. It's just them getting together and having some fellowship. And that's even really important. So if you ever want more information about that, they can call me, 870-404-6944. And I can get them in touch with those people too.
On the right next door to that, every Wednesday morning, I lead a PTSD group. We meet at Skipper's for breakfast at 8 o'clock. I'm late already. And we have breakfast, and then twice a month, the first and third Wednesdays, we go over to the VFW and in the back room back there, and then we have an additional meeting. So that's the group that she talked about takes care of their psychological needs. I'm licensed clergy, so I take care of their spiritual needs.
Does the PTSD have to be military related for them to join you at that breakfast?
So far, it is only military.
That's something that affects a lot of people that aren't military.
That's absolutely true.
And I don't know that there's support groups for that or not.
In terms of mental, categorized mental illness from the DSM-5 or ICD-10, whatever, or 11 if it is now, PTSD is pretty new. You know, it's not like depression. It's been, identified a long time ago. PTSD is fairly new, so there is not a lot for it. Another one there's almost nothing for, and that's brain injury.
Yeah.
Traumatic brain injury, TBI, if you want the acronym.
Yeah.
Boy, here we go.
It'll be on the test.
It'll be on the test. Holy catfish. Do you have any idea what Dan's got going on in his schedule for the next 30?
No, we actually talked about that on the radio. And I didn't take notes for his, but we kind of did like an overview of the whole year, and our calendars are already almost booked up, which is insane to think about. It's only February, and I've already made things on my calendar for December. So we kind of went through our whole list of things, but Dan had a lot of good things talking about like the Friends of the NRA and DAV things, so yeah, so we have a lot coming up. I'm not sure all of his.
We have a quarterly Together with Veterans meeting coming up in March, March 8th, but don't quote me on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
What's on your schedule for the next?
So a lot of training. We just did quarterly training last week, so that was a big thing. We got all the new guys together to meet our our senior VSOs, so that was nice. But yeah, we were planning on having the women's conference in June, and it looks like that's going to be pushed back to, I think, October or November. So we have a bunch of changing.
Lots of changes
things.
coming. New administration, new changes.
Yeah. So once we get a hold on everything, I'll have a whole list and we'll bring it again.
We'll see it next month. Well, thank you both very much for joining us this morning on the morning show. We wish you the best for the next 30 days, and we'll see you next month.
Sounds good.
All right.
Y'all have a wonderful day.
It's about that time. We'll see y'all tomorrow.